Why did Napoleon keep winning his battles, and why couldn't anyone seem to stop him? Was it genius, luck, or something far more intriguing? Napoleon Bonaparte, one of history's most celebrated military leaders, built his legacy on a series of remarkable victories that seemed almost too good to be true. But what was the secret behind his consistent success on the battlefield? While his strategic brilliance is well documented, there are many lesser-known facts and fascinating rumors that paint a more complete picture of why he was so often victorious. One intriguing aspect of Napoleon's success was his uncanny ability to predict weather patterns. There's a famous story from the Battle of Austerlitz, where Napoleon strategically used the fog to conceal his troops, catching the enemy off guard and leading to one of his most decisive victories. Some say he had an almost supernatural sense of timing, knowing exactly when weather conditions would shift in his favor. This ability wasn't just a lucky guess, it was the result of careful observation and an understanding of nature's rhythms, something few other commanders took into account. In addition to his weather sense, Napoleon was also known for his meticulous attention to detail. He would often spend hours poring over maps, studying the terrain, and planning his movements down to the smallest detail. His campaigns were characterized by their speed and precision, with Napoleon often marching his troops at a pace that left his enemies scrambling to catch up. This ability to rapidly mobilize and deploy his forces gave him a distinct advantage, allowing him to strike quickly and decisively before his opponents could properly organize their defenses. But it wasn't just the weather that Napoleon mastered. He was also deeply invested in the well-being of his soldiers. Unlike many leaders of his time, Napoleon paid close attention to the health, morale, and supplies of his troops. He knew that a well-fed and motivated army would perform better on the battlefield. This care for his soldiers earned him their loyalty and trust, making them willing to endure the hardships of war for him. It was said that his men would follow him anywhere, which often gave him a psychological edge over his enemies, who struggled with less motivated and poorly equipped forces. Napoleon's understanding of the human element in warfare extended beyond just his own troops. He was a master of psychological warfare, using it to unnerve and disorient his enemies even before a battle began. He would spread false information and rumors to confuse and demoralize his enemies, leading them to make poor decisions on the battlefield. This tactic of deception meant that his opponents were often unsure of his true strength or intentions, leading them to make mistakes that Napoleon could exploit. His use of spies and informants also played a crucial role in his ability to stay one step ahead of his adversaries, allowing him to anticipate their moves and counter them effectively. Adding to the mystique surrounding Napoleon was the widespread belief in his lucky star. Many of his contemporaries, and even Napoleon himself, believed that he was destined for greatness, guided by a force beyond mere chance. This belief wasn't just superstition, it played a significant role in boosting the confidence of his troops and striking fear into his enemies. The idea that they were fighting against a man favored by fate was enough to weaken the resolve of even the most determined foes. Napoleon's quick thinking and adaptability on the battlefield were other key factors in his success. He was known for his innovative use of artillery, positioning his cannons in ways that his enemies didn't expect, which often turned the tide of battle. His ability to read the battlefield and make swift, decisive moves caught many of his opponents off guard, leading to their defeat before they even knew what hit them. His use of the divisional square formation, a defensive tactic where infantry units formed a square to protect against cavalry charges, showcased his ability to adapt traditional military tactics to the needs of modern warfare. Napoleon was also a pioneer in the use of mass conscription, which allowed him to raise large armies quickly and sustain prolonged campaigns. His ability to mobilize and inspire a nation to fight for his cause was unmatched, and it enabled him to field armies that were not only large in number, but also fiercely loyal to him. This mass mobilization was a key factor in his ability to wage wars on multiple fronts, often against coalitions of European powers, and still come out on top. All these elements combined to create the legend of Napoleon Bonaparte, the commander who seemed nearly unbeatable. His victories weren't just a matter of luck or brute force, they were the result of a deep understanding of human psychology, a keen eye for natural phenomena, and a relentless drive to outthink and outmaneuver his enemies. These traits made Napoleon more than just a military leader, they made him a symbol of invincibility, a figure whose shadow looms large over history, even centuries after his time. The story of Napoleon reminds us that sometimes, the difference between winning and losing isn't just about strength, but about the mind and the heart of a true leader. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you want more videos like this.